Just remember, if you go see this movie, you are not Tom Cruise, okay? So don't like go into your car after this movie and start driving off Fast and Furious style thinking you're gonna do some car turning stunts or getting on a motorcycle and knock yourself into a car and flip off. You will hurt yourself. Don't do it. Hi, I'm Andre with a review for you, Little Reviews. This video is brought to you by Squarespace.com. From websites and online stores to marketing tools and analytics, Squarespace is the all-in-one platform where you can create your beautiful online presence, and then who knows, by the fall, you could have your new website out. Fallout. Mission Impossible Fallout. This is my review of the movie. Smooth segue. Usually when movies get into their 5th or 6th movie of a franchise, they start getting worse. How did Mission Impossible get better over time? Of the Mission Impossible movies I've seen, which is 2 in theaters and the others sporadically through cable, Fallout is probably my favorite. It just is so good, and it is action-packed and entertaining from start to finish. This movie is never ever boring at all. When there's action going on, you are glued to your seat, you are looking forward, you're just all into it. But even when it's not doing action, it's entertaining. The dialogue between the characters, the way they're setting up the plot and the story, just everything about it, just nothing ever feels flat at all. Nothing ever feels like, oh, you probably could have cut this here, cut this there. It does get a little long. It's a little bit over 2 hours, so I feel like they probably could have tightened it. But at the same time, there's something I can look at and go, well, that was filler. Everything felt good. It was just some things you got an indulgence of, because when they get into that action, they want you all up in it. And it can be fighting in bathroom action. It could be driving in a car and taking a car down the steps action. It could be Tom Cruise ride on a motorcycle and then the motorcycle hits a car and he falls off and then he's like limping, and then you find out later that that was an actual real limp. That kind of action. It could be Tom Cruise inside of a helicopter that's like breaking apart, and yet he's flipping around in the helicopter while chasing another helicopter. And these are all things that in other movies would be absolutely ridiculous and make no sense. In fact, we've seen movies this year alone that try to do stuff like this that are ridiculous and make no sense. But Mission Impossible Fallout gets it. I just don't know how they do it, but they just get it. And I think a lot of it has to do with just Tom Cruise being a part of it, doing a lot of the stunts, or being a part of a lot of the stunts himself, so everything kind of feels real. And the way that the stunt coordination is put together in these movies, they're just defined so well that you feel like you're part of the action. There were a couple of times when I was watching this movie and I could feel like this little bit pain in my chest, and I realized what it was I was holding my breath because I was actually concerned for Tom Cruise, even though I knew this was a movie. The whole time Ethan Hunt's doing action things, I'm just kind of like sitting there going, he could die this time. And I know he's not, because he's done press junkets, he's done interviews, we know that he survived these stunts. But for some reason, I'm watching it in the movie going, he can actually die this time. You can't survive that. Tom Cruise is not real. I think that whole part in The Mummy when he sucked the life force out of Sophia Boutella so that he can become a monster that can live forever, I think that was real. I think that's what he actually does, because that man is not made with real bones. It's not possible. That dude is immortal. Look at his age and look how he looks and look at what he does. He cannot be a real person. Then of course you got the supporting cast. They're all here. Ving Rhames is here. Simon Pegg is here. Alec Baldwin is here. And we even get Rebecca Ferguson back from the previous movie. So congratulations, a female in a Mission Impossible movie that actually gets to make it into the next movie. That's very rare. And then the new people rolling up was really cool. Angela Bassett just being Angela Bassett, you know, like just her presence. It's just like, what? And then Cavill, man. Henry Cavill and his mustache was all up in this movie, and it was good. This man was more Superman at times in this movie. There's this part where he is fighting people in a bathroom and you hear those punches, it's just like, And kudos to the main guy that they fight in that bathroom scene. He was killing it, man. They were taking pipes out and throwing people through glasses. And again, all of it should be ridiculous, but it was just done so well. It was like a dance choreography of kicking ass. I've never seen fighting, driving, and shooting be done in such a beautiful way, like it was a ballet. Even down to the sound effects, like the sound effects, the score, the times when the music is intense to help out with the action, and the times when the music just drops, like in that bathroom scene when you don't really hear a lot of music, to just really emphasize those sound effects of the punches and the kicks and the shots. Like just everything about it just It's just so good. And one thing I want to give it credit for, this is a very direct sequel to the last movie, Rogue Nation, but I felt like they did a really good job of this movie of if there was any kind of plot point that you need to know about, it made a point to at least give you a vague description of it. So if this was your first Mission Impossible movie, you can still kind of get what's going on. With Rebecca Ferguson's character, they don't tell you the full details of Rogue Nation, but they give you enough of like, hey, she was a rogue agent. She did something wrong. She now has to prove her loyalty. Got it. They bring a character back from early Mission Impossible days, and they give you just enough to be like, okay, even if I didn't see those movies, I get who this character is and why this character is important to Ethan. Good. The only character I feel is in this movie that kind of gives the, hey, you should have saw the last one if you want to understand this guy, is the villain, Solomon Lane. He's probably the only character that I would say would make more sense seeing the last movie, whereas with everyone else, if this was your first movie, you'd be fine. And the only criticism that I have about this movie is Mission Impossible movies have this habit of having rogue agents. It's something that's happened in past movies, and particularly with the last movie being about a syndicate of rogue agents. Of course, that's gonna come up when you bring the villain from the last movie into this one. So the movie tries to do this whole like, one of these people might be a rogue agent. I'm not trying to spoil anything, but you can look at the cast of people, and as soon as they start talking about one of them might be a rogue agent, you'd be like, well, we all know who it's gonna be, right? Like, I don't want to spoil this or anything, but you're kind of making it very obvious right now, Mission Impossible Fallout. I'm not looking at Ving Rhames and going, well, maybe after 6 movies, he's actually a rogue agent. You know, like that would be a long haul for this franchise to have Ving Rhames in every single Mission Impossible movie and then right in movie 6 go, boom, rogue agent, Ving Rhames. That I would give them props for doing that, but I don't think that's the case. The plot's pretty forward. There's some cliche stuff in there. There's some trope stuff in there. We even got that countdown clock, but you know what? All of it's intense. All of it's fun. I highly recommend this movie. So yeah, Tom Cruise, forget about that mummy. Don't even worry about that. Just keep doing these. You good right here, all right? Whatever you was doing in that dark universe, let that go. Stick with this. So good job, Mission Impossible Fallout. But I'll tell you what's not impossible, making a website on Squarespace, because it's an all-in-one platform. It has templates that you can use to design your website or your online store. You got analytics so you can check and see how your site is doing. And Squarespace is even there with that 24/7 customer service. If your mission, if you choose to accept it, is to have an online presence through a website, an online store, or anything like that, you can do that through squarespace.com/Andre. You can head over to Squarespace for a free trial, and if you use squarespace.com/Andre, you get 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That's my deal for you. Man, the segues into this sponsorship are tight today. And if there's any movie you want me to talk about, whether it is in the theaters, on Netflix, on DVD, Blu-ray, digital, 4K, whatever, let me know. Always open to suggestions to try out new things to geek out about, whether they're good stuff or guilty pleasures or so bad it's good. That's what I like to do. That's the stuff that I enjoy. Also subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate it. I love you like a play cousin. I'm Audi 5000.